Today we're going to take another look at text structure, and we're going to analyze an informational text. The text structure refers to how the information within a text is organized. Today we're going to look at the two text structures, compare and contrast, and problem and solution. When we see compare and contrast, is the author comparing how things are and how things are different? So how things are alike and different. Are they using signal words? Similar, both, also, different, however, whereas. In problem and solution, is this telling how a problem was solved? So is it presenting us with the problem and how to solve it? Is it using signal words such as problem, solution, solve, or dilemma? Now we're going to watch this quick video and determine what we think the text structure is.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Tape, the super strong waterproof tape that can instantly patch, bond, seal, and repair. Flex Tape is no ordinary tape. Its triple thick adhesive virtually welds itself to the surface, instantly stopping the toughest leaks. Leaky pipes can cause major damage, but Flex Tape grips on tight and bonds instantly. Plus, Flex Tape's powerful adhesive is so strong, it even works underwater. Now you can repair leaks at pools and spas without draining them. Flex Tape is perfect for marine, campers, and RVs. Flex Tape is super strong, and once it's on, it holds on tight. And for emergency auto repair, Flex Tape keeps its grip, even in the toughest conditions. Big storms can cause big damage, but Flex Tape comes super wide, so you can easily patch large holes.
In that video, it presented us with different problems, such as leaks within pools, or on roofs, or sinks, and that you can solve them using Flex Tape. So let's think. Was the author telling us how a problem was solved, or was the author telling us how things were alike and how things were different? So it was telling us how a problem was solved. The problem could be solved using the Flex Tape, so that text structure was problem and solution. Now we're going to watch another video and we're going to determine, is that problem and solution or compare and contrast?
Drill. You run it backwards, the numbers go down. Watch your speed up.
Yeah, Daddy, you're a crook.
What?
This is illegal.
Yeah, keep drilling. Do you make money? Do you have a job?
No, but don't people need good cars? Can't you sell good cars, Dad?
Listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
So in that video, at the end, the author was comparing how two people were different. So it was showing us how the dad was different than the daughter because the dad was comparing things that made them different. So let's think. Was the author comparing how things are alike or different, or was he telling us how a problem was solved? He was comparing how the two of them were different, so that would have been compare and contrast. George, and determine if it's compare and contrast or problem and solution. During the American Revolution, there were two leaders named George. King George III was the King of England and the leader of the British Army. He wanted the American colonies to follow his laws and pay taxes to England. The other George was George Washington. He was the leader of the American soldiers and fought for freedom from England. So let's just on the side. George Washington was the leader of the American soldiers, and King George was the leader of the British Army. So that paragraph just showed us the differences between both Georges. One George was the leader for the Americans, one George was the leader for the British Army. Paragraph 2. Both Georges had light blue eyes and reddish brown hair. They were both farmers and very important people in the history of their countries. King George III became king when he was 22 years old. He got married and had 15 children. George Washington also got married, but only had 2 children. King George III gave lots of money to the poor and needy, and was well loved by the people of England. George Washington was also loved by his people and known as a hero. We can gist on the side. Both Georges were farmers and important people in history. Both were loved by many. So paragraph 2 showed us how both Georges were alike by saying that they have similar hair, similar eyes. They both were married. They were both loved by people. They both helped the poor and the needy. So now we can go back to our text structure page and see if there were any key words. So many key words or signal words that the author used was the word both. For example, paragraph 2 starts by saying both Georges had light blue eyes. They were both farmers, so that's another signal word. So right away I can decide that the text structure is comparing and contrasting. Paragraph 1 is giving us the differences, contrasting, and paragraph 2 is giving us the similarities, comparing. Now let's think what the main idea was, that King George III and George Washington were very important people in history, and the text structure is compare and contrast. Same thing with school lunch. Each day, over 30 million students eat school lunch in the United States. In 2010, First Lady Michelle Obama was concerned that the food schools were serving for lunch was not very healthy. She saw lots of chicken nuggets, pizzas, hamburgers, and not very many fruits or vegetables. Michelle knew that eating healthy food was very important, so kids could grow properly and prevent them from getting diseases. So we could just on the side, the food was not very healthy, and kids need healthy food to keep them healthy. Paragraph 2. In 2010, Michelle Obama started a program that encouraged kids to eat healthier and move more. She asked schools to look for foods they served for lunch and make changes, serving healthier choices at lunch and breakfast. Schools also replaced candy bars and soda in the vending machines with granola bars and water bottles to help solve this issue. So we just did. A program was started to make school lunch healthier. So let's think. In paragraph 1, it presents us with a problem. The problem is that she thought that the school lunch was very unhealthy. Paragraph 2, she gave us ways she could solve it. She started a program that encouraged schools to pick healthier choices, such as fruits and vegetables, over the non-healthy choices, such as candy bars or sodas. So let's think main idea. So we don't ever want to use the word how when we're writing a main idea. So we can say a healthy school lunch is very important. The text structure is problem and solution. Now let's think. What do paragraphs 1 and 2 contribute to the article? So let's think about the article with both Georges. Remember, paragraph 1 presented us with the differences, and paragraph 2 presented us with the similarities. So we know it was compare and contrast. So let's think. They provide the effects that both Georges had as leaders. No, because paragraph 2 didn't talk too much about them being leaders. It talked about what they looked like, that they were married, and that they were very liked. B, they provide the reasons that Georges are remembered in history. They provide the difference and similarities between the Georges. Or they provide the events that occurred in order. So it did not give us the events in order. However, we know that it was compare and contrast. So keywords. It provides the differences and similarities. So you'll notice when you pick the text structure that the text structure will actually be in one of the answers. Task card 2. How are the main ideas organized in the article? So we said it was problem and solution. So let's see which fits. So it should actually say problem and solution in our answer. A. They explain the reasons that school lunch is not healthy. B. They provide the effects that school lunches have on kids. Didn't really say that, it just said that it was not healthy. C. They provide a problem that is occurring in the schools and the solution. Once again, it gave you the text structure in the actual answer. So once you figure out the text structure, you'll be able to see it in your answer. So now you're going to have a turn to do the same thing. You're going to read the text, gist it, find the main idea and text structure, and then you're going to answer some questions.